please, we'll make this as quick as possible. I have some information to go over for you that's going to be important for you heading to graduation, and then your counselors have some information about kind of some things for after school, but also after high school, but also things that you need to know now. Okay? So, as you see up here, 174 days left of school. You've been in school for almost 12 years now, and you only have 1 year left for high school. Some of you might have been able to be at graduation this past Sunday, and so saw some of our seniors who were able to walk across the stage, and we hope to see all of you in that same position next year. We will do everything that we can in order to get you there, but that is on you to do your part as well. And I'm going to cover some of the things that you are going to need to do in order to get there. We always want to start with our mission statement, is that we are a community of reflective global citizens that are trying to make a positive change on the world. And the first step of doing that is graduating from high school and going and doing whatever you want to do after that, whether that be college, whether that be military, whether that be a trade school, or whether that be just working. Whatever you decide to do, our hope is that you carry forth that attitude with you to make a change in your community, in your city, in your state, in your country, in this world, because that is our expectation for all of you, and we know that you can do that. I know this is small, but I'm going to email this presentation out to you. You can see Ms. Poole is videoing this right now. I'm going to post that on YouTube. It's going to be sent to you, to your families, and to any virtual students that aren't here right now. First thing that you have to know is, in order to be a senior in Des Moines Public Schools and maybe in the state of Iowa, you do have to get, I can't remember what actual vaccination it is, but you will get notified about it. If you just go to the doctor and say, what vaccination do I need to do for school? It's not COVID vaccination, it's another one. I think it's like meningitis.
Meningitis.
Yeah, meningitis. You have to have that in order to attend. So if you show up on the first day of school and you haven't done that, we will have a list of people that will say, hey, go to the doctor and then come back to school. Okay, so that's important for you to know. This year was a weird year. Next year, we hope to be slightly more back to normal. Just remember that your attendance in class is vital for you to be successful as a senior. No matter how well you are currently doing in all your classes, maybe you have a 4.0, that's great. You still need to pass personal and economics, government, and most likely English 4 in order for you to graduate. Those are the big 3 ones that everyone has to pass. There's some of you in here have a lot of other classes that you need to make up too, but those are 3 big ones that most likely none of you had taken before. And in order to be successful in those classes, you have to be here. We will be back to a 7 period with 2 block days next year, so no more quarters. I think that will be helpful for a lot of you. But it's really important that you're here in order to do that. If also, this is something that we'll go over at the beginning of the year, but if you want to participate in extracurricular activities, or if you want to go to them, the expectation is that you are in class. You all were here as sophomores and freshmen when we had that attendance policy in place. So hopefully you're familiar with that, but we'll give you more detail about that later. You need 23 credits in order to graduate. We are going to have a checkout. So seniors have a checkout sheet at the end of their senior year. It says that you returned your books, paid your fees, you passed all your classes, checked out with me. We're going to do one of those halfway through the year next year, so that you know, here are the classes I still need to pass, or I have a lot of work to do, I might not be graduating in May. And then what fees you owe, because we don't want to be a shock. There was a few seniors last week that were like, oh man, I owe this much money, or oh man, I didn't know I needed to pass econ. I had probably anywhere between 10 and 15 that I had to tell them, you know, you have to go to summer school in order to graduate, so you aren't able to participate with us this past Sunday. I do not want to be that or to have that happen to any of you. So stay on top of that. I've already scheduled your senior picture for next year. We didn't get to take one until graduation rehearsal this year, but we will plan on having one, where we're on the bleachers there as a class. The date right now is October 7th. That might change, but at least that's what we have right now. If you are interested in being a January grad, I've already had a few of you talk to me about that. You need to talk to your counselor and make sure, number one, you have the credits that you need, and number two, the paperwork's filed so that you are able to graduate early. The deadline for that is November 1st. Okay. Prom is already scheduled for April 30th. I talked to some juniors, and they said that they like the location of the Scottish Rite. Once it's all decorated, it looks pretty nice in there. And so that's where we're having it also this year, or your senior year. So April 30th, 2022 at the Scottish Rite. We did 7 to 10 this past year. I'm sure we'll probably do that next year too. Still waiting on the date for graduation commencement for next year. Everything that we have heard is that it will be at Drake, and it will be back to fully in person. So that is the hope for next year too. It's almost always right around Memorial Day weekend, so that would be my guess. But we'll give you that firm date at the beginning of next year. 90, I don't know what that is, 90% plus goal, but it was on there. So, yeah, be here for more than 90% of the time. I'm not sure. All right, anyway, I'll look into that. So I've already talked to, there's a man named Mark, who's our Herb Jones representative. He's already planning on being here early October to meet with all of you. What you need to know is to participate in graduation. This year it was $75, covered your cap, your gown, your tassel, covered everything we needed for the NAP Center, covered your diploma cover. Last year, or this year, we were lucky enough that they said, hey, no late fees at all, let's just get that paid. In the past, it's been you have to get that in by the end of December, otherwise they're every month it goes up $5. So I just want you to be aware that next year you are going to have to pay $75 for your cap and gown in order to wear it during graduation. It's yours to keep, but that is your responsibility. If you have an issue with that, please just talk to me and we'll figure something out. Okay. And then your counselors are going to talk a little bit more about post-secondary things. For your senior board, about a month ago, I asked for anybody that was interested in having a leadership position in your in your upcoming senior class. That basically is communicating with Miss Poole and I, helping to plan prom, helping to plan senior breakfast, helping just kind of overall leadership in the school. And it takes a lot of guts to step into that leadership role. And I think maybe being virtual held some people back, but I did have 4 young ladies who expressed interest. And so your senior board is Lily Johns is president with Sage Johnson as her vice president, Callie Garcia as secretary, and Katie Collier as treasurer. I've already had a few people come up to me and say, hey, Mr. Fry, I didn't know about this senior board thing, and I'm interested in that. And my response to that is, that's great. It's not really fair to the people that already expressed interest in doing it, but here's what we're going to do. This past year, we had our president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and then we had 4 other people that were just interested in being a part of it. We called it at-large bids. And so if you are interested in having your voice heard about things like prom and things about like the direction that we are going as Hoover, I would love for you to come talk to Ms. Poole or myself. And if you're a good fit, I think it would be great to have you on that team. Okay? So please just talk to Ms. Poole or I if you are interested in that. And I'm going to hand it over to your counselors.
So this year we've got it kind of split up as far as our alphabet. We're going to go back to the old way it was before. I'll have A through HE. Miss LeBang will have HF through P, and then Miss Stribling will have PF through Z. We are also gonna start having a newsletter to go out with you periodically. We don't know if it's gonna be once a month, every 2 weeks. We will get back with you and let you know. But it's gonna have like scholarships that come open, maybe some job opportunities for you. So it's gonna have a bunch of different things in that newsletter that we're gonna send out. And we're also, we tried to use band and remind before. Next year, what we're gonna try to do to communicate with you is use Teams. So we'll have a Teams page for seniors, and it'll be seniors general information 2022, and all that information will be on there. So like scholarships, jobs, any way that we want to communicate, or even if you just want to set up a meeting and meet with one of your counselors, you can do that by way of Teams next year. So that's one way we're going to try and communicate with you for next year. Okay, important dates, the FAFSA, okay? Everybody needs to do a FAFSA, okay? If you plan on going to college. You might say, oh, my parents make too much money. But it's important that you do the FAFSA because there's been a lot of kids that have ended up getting some money and didn't think they could because they did qualify after all. But the FAFSA, that's the financial aid application, which you can see if you can get money from the state. It might be by way of a Pell Grant. It could be the area that you're gonna go into for studies. There's also money, so like nursing, there's money out there that you can get scholarship money for to go to school. So there's different types of opportunities you can give. Everybody needs to do a FAFSA. It generally takes about an hour or so for you to do. And basically what happens is you bring in your parents' income tax information and the paperwork they filed, you do that, and we will help you. This year we had AmeriCorps workers do it, and it worked out really well. We were the second leading school in the district that had the highest number of FAFSA completed. So Roosevelt beat us by a little bit, but not much. But that's one thing that we're going to help you guys do. Also, we're going to have excursions. During those excursions, we're going to do FAFSAs. We'll help you apply for colleges. You need colleges, recommendation letters for scholarships. I'm going to tell you guys now, try to get your recommendation letters together now from your teachers. A lot of people wait till the last minute and say, hey, I need a recommendation letter from you. So if you can work on now, like when school starts, get those recommendation letters from your teachers. I suggest that you do that. FAFSA night, we're also going to have, we do not know when that's going to be, okay? But seniors, you need to sign up. You come with your parents to get help on your FAFSA, and then, like I said, we'll either communicate with you through your email, your school email, or through Teams when we get more information about that. ACT retakes, okay? October 23rd. If you took it this year, not happy with your score, I suggest you retake it, okay? And give yourself plenty of time. Try not to wait till the last minute, because for a lot of the schools, you have to get that information to them like back in February or so. So I suggest you retake your ACT if you're gonna before February or March, okay? And then you can see your counselor if you qualify for a fee waiver, and that's basically waiving the fee of the FAFSA cost. I mean the ACT costs, okay? So just see your counselor and we'll let you know if you qualify. If you do not, it's about $40 for you to retake your ACT. Anybody have any questions? No? You guys are ready to get out of here, aren't you? Wake up, wake up.
Wait, let me talk about money. I think I get to talk about money. Okay, I don't know how this thing works. Okay. Oh no, the next slide is about money. We'll talk about money. Okay, career exploration. So a lot of you are going to need to start deciding what you want to do, and with some conversations, a lot of kids are saying, I don't know what I want to do. We have logged you into or given you the rights to a navigator, which you can go in and take a couple assessments, and it's going to give you some career ideas that might be a good fit for you based on things you're interested in, things you're good at, and your aptitudes, which are things that you're just naturally good at that you didn't know. So if you are somebody that's like, I really don't know what I want to do after high school, this would be a great time over summertime just to log on for a quick 10-15 minutes, take the assessment, and then it'll tell you, hey, you would be really good at doing architecture, or you would be really good at doing restaurant management, certain things like that. So we highly encourage you to do that with some downtime this summer. If for some reason you have problems or need help Mr. Dean, Ms. Stribling, and myself, we are on email throughout summer, so you can definitely email us. Our alphabet split that Mr. Dean showed you will actually go into effect Friday. So we're going to stay with what we have throughout the end of the school year, which ends Thursday. But on Friday, please start contacting us by the alphabet that was shown up above. So if you have any questions, see us. Okay, now money. Okay, we love money, and we want you to get the most money to go to college. A lot of you have reached out to us saying, hey, you know, when can I start looking at scholarships? When can I start applying for these things? And that's all going to start in the fall. But up here, what we have listed is we have like 4 of our major scholarships up here that give quite a bit of money. So you'll want to actually make sure you pay attention to our newsletter, pay attention to announcements, and then also contact us saying, hey, when does this scholarship open? So some of them that are up here, the lowest Dale, so 2 of you guys that are juniors just here at Hoover are going to get this scholarship. You have to go through the application process, but it's a full ride scholarship to Iowa, Iowa State, or UNI. So that's kind of a big deal when you're thinking college is about $20,000 that somebody's just going to give you to go. So make sure you look into that one. The Prairie Meadows, 2 of our students will receive that. That's $2,500, which is a nice chunk. And then we have the Rotary Club of Des Moines. 2 students get that. It's $8,000. It gets split up over 4 years, so you'll get $2,000 each year for that one. And then finally, we have our MVP, multicultural vision program. Thank you. I always forget that. So if you think you qualify for that one, you can apply for that, and we give those just based on who can qualify for those. So with questions, reach out to us. Scholarships don't open until about November, so we're really gonna kind of hit it hard with get the FAFSA done, apply to college, and now let's look at scholarships. And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Stribling to finish us up.
If you have a phone or a camera, you might want to take a picture of that scholarship website, because there are a few of them that open up in the summer. Not very many. Like Ms. Levine said, most of those that are listed here open up in November, December. But every once in a while, there's one that opens up early. So you can get on that website and you can look at all the scholarships that Hoover has. Okay, so you might want to take a picture of that. And it's also going to go out, like you said, right, to everybody. So you'll also get it in Messenger. And Mr. Dean just briefly talked with you about Husky Time, FAFSA. So remember FAFSA, you're going to hear that word FAFSA a lot, because FAFSA is that application that you have to fill out if you're going to go to college so that you can get money from the government, free money. So we are going to help you fill that out. Like Mr. Dean says, it takes about an hour, and it's kind of hard to do sometimes, and so we're going to help you do that. And so we're going to have excursions during Husky Time, and we need you to sign up for them if you think there's a chance that you might go to college. If you have another plan, like the trades or employment or military, you don't have to do the FAFSA, but if you do plan on doing college, you do have to do that, and we can help you with that during that Husky Time. If you want to go to UNI, Iowa State, or the University of Iowa, they have a formula that they use to see if you can get accepted. And to get accepted, it's called the RAI formula. It stands for Region Admission Index, to see if you can get in. And there's a magic number of 245 that you have to get. But what they do in this formula is they take your ACT score that you took this year, your GPA that you have right now, and then they take how many core classes, math, science, English, social studies, and foreign language classes you've had while you're in high school. And that's including next year too. And they use this formula to find out what your magic number is, and if it's 245, you will get accepted to those universities. And so you can Google RAI calculator if you want to try to figure out what yours is. You can also contact your counselor, who's contacted by the alphabet, and we can help you figure out what your RAI score is, so you can see if you can get accepted at the big three schools, Iowa, Iowa State, UNI. If you want to go to a private college, they look more at your GPA. They don't use the RAI. And the last thing is a lot of you next year that are going to go to college, you're going to find out the collegers are saying, I need your transcript, I need your transcript, that thing that has all your grades on it. So you can contact us, but we're going to tell you, you have to contact Miss DeGuy. She's our registrar, and you get 5 free transcripts to send to colleges. And then after that, it costs $3 for a transcript. So if you apply to 10 different colleges, you would have to pay for some of those transcripts to be sent. And then at the very end of the year, you're going to have a sign-out sheet. And that sign-out sheet, you have to go and make sure your fees are paid and make sure you don't have any library books out. Also on that sign-out sheet is where do you want your final transcripts into? So what college, if you're going to go to college, are you going to go to? And then Mrs. DeGuy, it costs $1, she will send your final transcript to that college, because you can't get into a college without a final transcript being sent. And then also, if you're going to go to college and it's not DMAC, you'll have to have your DMAC grades transferred to that college so you can get college credit for that too. Any questions about anything Mr. Dean or Ms. LeBanc and I have gone over? No questions about college?
Okay, so quick reminders, you need 23 credits to graduate. We want all of you graduating in May that are here. If you have questions about anything credit-wise or anything like that, speak to your counselor. If you are interested in putting your name in to help with some leadership activities, talk to Ms. Poole or myself. Be prepared for next year that you will have to have $75 to pay for your cap and gown for next year in order to participate in graduation. Okay? I think that's about it. All right. Have a great last couple days. Future senior class at Hoover right here.